This is 365 2010 Too Much Dave, episode 26. I have just gone through the incredible, painful experience of listening to As It Happens talk about Twitter. And talk to Yannick Tremblay of the CBC Radio Canada talk about his incredibly profound experiment of going with 4 of his friends to the south of France to discover what the digital natives are doing and how they reach their news. And just the missing the pointedness, the condescension, the unbelievable idea of some people in the mainstream media that somehow the rest of us are tied to getting our news through the things that they interpret, that they're somehow so central to this process. And he's concerned that these digitally native people who use Facebook and Twitter to get their news, like there is a thing that happens that's completely separate from the rest of the world, like we're somehow not engaged, like the connection that happens inside of a network is somehow disconnected to the real world. And he's committed to the idea that if he doesn't follow CNN or CBC, he'll only be getting the pure digital native experience, like there's a network outside of the people that are actually part of those connections. So by his rules, he could follow all of the reporters from CBC and get the news directly from them, but not CBC itself. And somehow that would make the difference. And this is just the colossal missing of the whole point. And this is where the media cycle starts to break down, because they do not understand the change in the medium itself. The medium has changed. It's not a simple process of reporting something that has been processed. It happens in time, and because of that, the quality of the knowledge changes. And you can't simply assume that you can tap into it and then judge it accordingly as your incomprehension of the medium, right? So it's like me picking up a newspaper and not understanding how paragraphs are structured and reading random words from a newspaper. There you go. So imagine I picked up a newspaper and I opened it to a random page and I read a random word and then I closed it. And then I opened up to another page and I read a random word. Or let's say, to make it equitable, a random 140 characters. Or even a random paragraph. And I tried to stitch those together in somehow, desperately missing the point of what a newspaper is. This is how social media is being covered. And this, by extension, is how it's being understood. This is how people like Jon Stewart make fun of social media. This is how people in the news media make fun of social media. And this is how they just don't get it. Yes, as Dave White was saying the other day, wow, is social media ever full of the banal if you follow banal people? If you expect to be able to randomly find people on the street in a city of 1 billion and pick them out one at a time, and you expect to find those people interesting, then you're an idiot. And that's essentially what these people are trying to do. And now I'm done. So thanks for listening. 365 2010 Too Much Dave, episode 26.